Welcome, most insiders are here at Kennedy Space Center. We're getting ready to go inside. Now check this out. We got a big, long line here, and then we're also learning about all the different rockets. And there is a message from Kennedy up there. Also, there's a big NASA globe, and then there's some rockets you can see in the distance here. And then a big field of them back there, but we're waiting to go through this long line to get into here. And then back this way, there's a parking lot in the entrance. So, follow us on our adventures going through the Kennedy Space Center. See you guys in a bit.
Excited to have you here to celebrate.
So, welcome to the Kennedy Space Center. Here we have the Heroes and Legends of the United States Astronaut Hall of Fame.
You, girl. Yes, yes.
Also, we have the Rocket Garden, and there's also guided tours for these rockets. But look how large these things are.
Add a little vintage flair
huge.
to this bright and sunny early Sunday morning.
Here.
So if you've got any requests for us, you just come on over.
Centuries
If you want to
of
take
launches
pictures, we do that too.
of all the different rockets that have been in space, guys. How cool is this? So they do have guided tours that you can take here. The tours begin around 9:30, 10:15, 11:15, 3:30, and 4:30. So it's pretty stinking cool. Look at all these things. These things are humongous. So I thought somebody was taking off on one of these rockets, but it was a lady with an incredibly loud sneeze over there. So getting ready to go on the bus tour. They got all this cool wall art up here, and they got the Milky Way ice cream shop, and there's the astronaut training experience. Not sure exactly. May have to go into there and see what's going on with that. But we're getting ready to. We're in the line here, getting ready to do the bus tour. So they recommend that you do the bus tour first when you get here. That way you can, well, there's quite a bit of people here for the crowd, but it's supposed to be even worse as it goes through the day, I think. But there's another NASA. I don't know, the globe looking thing. Similar to the one that we saw in the front. And then you can see the space shuttle booster rockets just peeking up over the horizon. Oh, and there's also a space shop for the world's largest space shop over there. I'm assuming that's going to be for souvenirs and stuff like that. Anyways, waiting in the bus tour line here. And we got Brandy and her friend with us today. Hi, Brandy.
Hi.
Hi, Linnell. So they don't want to be on camera, so I can't film them. It's a legality thing or something, I think. Anyways, all right, we'll see you guys on the bus tour. Bye. So there's that Gentry LC-39. They're getting ready to do a test fire here. It simulates the power of the thrusters that they have on the rockets. So you can see the steam and the fire and the sound. And it's about to go off here in about 2 minutes and 28 seconds. So let's get up here and take a look at this. Here's the thruster. Oh, so sorry. So here we go, guys.
We have limited fuel reserves to exceed your requested 115% power.
So cool. There we go. RG-39 booster. Could be going off here any minute. This is supposed to simulate a booster going off. It's like a dry fire. So it's perfectly safe to be under here. Just move to the left.
Weiß ich nicht. 15 Sekunden vorher. Guck auf die Uhr da oben.
Wow, this thing's cool.
I did what I calculated you would do.
So now they're calculating it, moving it back and forth. Oh, here comes the steam, guys. It's getting ready to go off. 6, 2, 1, 0. Lift off. That's too cool. Wow, that was really cool. There's a famous saying right there. That's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind, said by Neil Armstrong. So here we go, we're going into this theater here for the Apollo. I think it's a simulation of the Apollo mission.
I was a launch controller here when from this very spot, man took off to fly the moon. It seemed to create a dangerous advantage. Every ham radio operator in America could hear it beeping. People were afraid. Were the Soviets looking down on us? Watching us? If they could make a satellite pass over our cities, could they do the same with a bomb? Our own space program kicked into high gear, and less than 2 months later, we were ready to launch our own satellite. It was being called the space race, and we were running a distant second. In 1961, we fell even further behind. Soviet cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin became the first man into space, circling the world in just 89 minutes. We had our own astronauts, and they were eager and ready to take the big ride. But our manned space program couldn't seem to get off the ground. It was a few days before Christmas 1968 when Apollo 8 sat on the pad. She was the first of a new kind, a moon rocket. This was the Phoenix, risen from the ashes of Apollo 1. The first Apollo crew did not die in vain. This was to be their testament. 36 stories high, she had been fully fueled throughout the night. The liquid oxygen in her tanks caused ice to form on the outside of the craft. The extreme temperature differences between the air and the sub-zero fuel caused the metal skin of the rocket to expand and contract. Everyone who was on the pad agreed. It was as though the rocket was alive, breathing, straining at the leash. Earlier in the morning, astronauts Frank Borman, Jim Lovell, and Bill Anders had made their final preparations before taking that long ride out to the waiting spacecraft. The minimum safe distance from a Saturn V at liftoff was 3 miles. The reason was simple. When fully fueled, the rocket contained the explosive power of an atomic bomb. As the clock counted down, the astronauts and all of us in launch control went through the pre-flight checks, our hands on the controls of the most powerful, most complex machine ever built. It had over 2 million separate systems, and to bring these men back alive, everything had to work perfectly. Each individual system had been tested, but what we didn't know was how they would perform when all 2 million began to work together. That moment would come when the countdown clock reached 0. If a maneuvering thruster failed, if communications broke down, if navigation was off by 1 degree, if any piece of the miles of wiring, circuits, relays, or valves was defective, Frank Borman, Jim Lovell, and Bill Anders would pay with their lives. As they sat, waiting for launch on that chill December morning, these 3 astronauts were back to what they had always been, test pilots. You are now in the final minutes before the launch of Apollo 8, right here where it actually happened. Mankind is about to leave his planet behind and journey to another. It is one of those rare moments when history is not being made, destiny is being embraced.
This is launch control, T-minus 3 minutes and counting. We have completed our communications checks with the Apollo 8 astronauts in the cabin, and the communications are go. During this period, once we do get the firing command, the various tanks within the 3 stages of the Saturn V launch vehicle begin to pressurize. We have firing command. The firing command is in. We are now on the automatic sequence. T-minus 2 minutes, 20 seconds, and counting. Our status board indicates that all aspects are ready. Instrument unit is ready, spacecraft ready. Final check of the emergency detection system, that ready light also on. First stage preparations are completed.
All systems remain okay.
TMK, keep going. We're on. Ready to go to cockpit. Stand by motor. Okay, you're on.
All systems go.
1 minute, 45 seconds and counting. First stage liquid oxygen tank has been pressurized, and the pressure is still building up. Coming up on 90 seconds, mark T-minus 90 seconds and counting. The Apollo 8 crew standing by, spacecraft commander Frank Borman, Jim Lovell, Bill Anders. We now report that the liquid hydrogen tank on the 3rd stage is pressurized. 1 minute, 15 seconds. All first stage is pressurized at this time as we come up on the 60-second mark on a flight to the moon. T-minus 60 seconds and counting. The vehicle now is completely pressurized. We're coming up on a power transfer shortly. We have the power transfer. We're now on the flight batteries within the launch vehicle. Final reports coming from Frank Borman at this time. Final look at the switch list aboard the spacecraft. 20 seconds, all aspects. We are still go at this time. T-minus 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. We have the mission sequence start. The engines are on. 4, 3.
Seats are vibrating. Wow.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Rock and roll. MTV. Wow. She gone. So here's the Saturn V rocket here, part of the Apollo mission. One of the security guards just gave us a bunch of fun facts about this thing, saying it was 60 feet taller than the Empire State Building. But right now, I'm running along the side of it, as this is actually laying down. But look how long this thing is. It's huge. But the video that I just took, this is the exact rocket that took off. So it was called the Apollo. The mission was Apollo. This was the Saturn V. Wow. So that was the first stage that we just saw. And here's the other stage. Look at these boasters, guys. God. And this thing just keeps going on and on and on and on. Wow. Truly amazing. So it's stage 2. Now we're on stage 3. Where it's now got like a singular booster there. And we're still going. I didn't realize this thing went this far in. That's too cool. Which brings us to the front, or the very tippy top. If this thing was standing vertical, which we come to the lunar landing with the American flag. And if you notice check out the astronauts doing there's one saluting, one over there actually doing all the work. Checking out the moon rocks, I guess. And look at this. Oh glory, hoisted by the first moon men, soft dust. Makes the first step easy. Can you imagine landing on the moon with this thing? Looks like a Tinker toy or something. It's truly amazing. Brandy, you say it on the moon? It's the lunar landing. Truly amazing. And then they have like different screens that show you, all the different things like the descent, the ascent, the Explorer lunar module, spacesuit called. See that? So these are like different videos that they have. Oh, you can actually control this thing in order to land on the moon. So you can do like your thrusters either side, up or down, boost, and then going back down to land. You can actually land on the moon. And then it's like you can keep score up there. That's pretty cool. And then you could do like different games on here to actually land the lunar little module on the surface of the moon. Way cool. And then over here we have like the Moon Rock Cafe where you can get something to eat if you wanted to. And then they have like all the different Apollo missions that you can see by all the plaques that are over here. All the way down Apollo 11. That's pretty cool. But this is like a long view of the entire assembly of the rocket going all the way down that way. From stage 1 down here all the way up to landing on the moon. So check this out. Brandy just pointed this out to me. It's a lunar sampler. 70,215,287. I did graduate high school, I promise. So this moon rock was collected by an astronaut, Jack Schmitt, near the Apollo 17 lunar module landing site. But you can see right here, you can actually put your hand in here and touch this. It just feels like smooth. It's not really rough or anything like that. It just feels like kind of like a porcelain tile or something. It's like. So here we go. Here's one of the cars that they drove on the moon. Little buggy. So Brandy was wanting a white BMW, like the X6 or X5, but I'm thinking about getting this for you, babe. She does home health, so this will be perfect for her. Nice open space, convertible-like. Anyways. And beyond that, they also have a store over here called The Right Stuff. I don't know if you guys remember this movie. It was a big movie back in, I think, the late 80s or something like that, mid 80s. But you could come here and get all these different types of t-shirts and stuff. I think I may buy one. So Brandy just found this. She's gonna buy it.
I'm not either.
And it's a limited edition Barbie from, she's an astronaut from 1965. Look at the price. Only $115.
Oh God.
Limited edition. So we're getting this for Brandy. So there's actually a launch pad that's straight out there. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. Can't really zoom in on these GoPros, but it's way out there. And then also, this is one of the buildings that they talked about on the tour that we're on the bus tour. This building right here stands 156 feet tall. You could put 2 1/2 Empire State Buildings inside this thing, guys. It is massive. But that's where they build the rockets before they take them out to launch them. Now there was also a thing that they talked about, which was the, what was it, the mover thing?
Oh, the land rover.
So, oh, the crawler. So the crawler will take the rockets out to the launch pad and to put them into position. So these things travel at a whopping speed of 1 mile per hour. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So we're gonna go back inside the air-conditioned environment because Brandy's getting eaten alive. But anyways, thought we'd come out here and show you that. That was pretty cool. Check out this big booster rocket right here. 2 rockets on the side, a big main fuel cell in the middle. Wow. So we're going inside here to the Atlantis, I guess the Atlantis building, and we're gonna see the space shuttle. That flew around the time, around when I was younger, in the 80s. Right, Brandy?
Yes.
Wow. There she is. Space Shuttle Atlantis.
It's beautiful.
It's so nice. Look at all the tiles. Wow. That is super cool. To think that this actually went into space.
I know it.
And then came out, broke through the atmosphere, and then landed, just like an airplane, guys. That's so cool. Then they had to stretch out arms here. The astronauts would walk outside of the capsule. And those cranes were located right inside the belly of this thing. Wow, this thing is huge. That is super amazing. If you look down here, there's part of the wing that's coming off. And then back up from the wing, have the back end. There's a tail fin up here. And then if you come around to the back side of this, it shows the boosters that are on the back side here. Wow, that is super impressive. So we got 1 there, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them going up to the tip top of the tail there. Wow, too cool. And then over here they have one of the boosters there. Super cool. And then as we go up and around here, you do see they have the Atlantis console. You can actually go inside here and take a look at it. Let's go look. Wow. Look at this. I'm flying this thing out of here. Wow. I could actually see outside these things. That is super cool. Here's Command Central. That's so awesome. All the instruments up here. So coming out of the nose of the shuttle, you can see they have all kinds of different things. There you can simulate a spacewalk. There's another one. The guy's doing repairs. So if you ever wondered how the astronauts go to the toilet on the space station, well, here you go. There is the toilet right there. So if you check this out, it tells you exactly how they take a seat. Use a camera.
That's how we exercise. Yeah. That's a treadmill.
Parting ways.
That's a treadmill, John.
Minor coaxing and flushing. And there's the cleanup. So if you read each one of those, you can see exactly how that's all done in the toilet. So this is a memorial that they have for the 7 astronauts on the Challenger. I think it was in the 80s, mid 80s. But they have all these different items to remember them by. Little memory items from each of the 7 people that passed when that Challenger did blow up on that day. That's so sad, dude. Wow. It's amazing. And this is the one that I remember everybody was talking about, Kristen McAuliffe. She was like a teacher, one of the first teachers to go into space, but tragically didn't come back. It was a super sad day for a lot of people then at that time. But this is really cool that they do have this to memorialize those 7 passengers. So, taking a picture. So there it is. I gave one astronaut rabbit ears. Nice. So here's the bottom of the space shuttle Atlantis, and you can see all the little tiles that they put on here for re-entry to prevent for the heat coming into the atmosphere. Pretty stinking cool. It's amazing how they figured all of that out. Put it all on the bottom of this thing. So here we are, the Heroes and Legends United States Astronaut Hall of Fame, presented by Boeing.
I can handle it though.
So this is right here by where the Rocket Garden, is that Rocket Garden there? Yeah, Rocket Garden, where we first came. And now we're going through this big tunnel. Goes through here and then kind of wraps around over to here, going inside the building. So 1, we're interested in this, and 2, it's air conditioning. So it's a plus for both. But as you do wander around this cement walkway that goes up to the building, there's also the Mercury Redstone, which goes way up there. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of hard to see. Rockets.
Okay, here we go.
are, the Astronauts Hall of Fame, with the first man in space, Alan B. Shepard Jr. stands here, the helmet in hand. This is insane. You got all these people throughout history that have committed themselves to being an astronaut, dealing with some sort of a space travel. Pretty amazing. With tons and tons and tons of people. Absolutely amazing. So it looks like it's kind of starts where I started from and then comes all the way back around.
Here's the most recent guy.
Around to here with all of these people, like from the 2020, 2022, 2023, 2024, another 2024, and then here's the latest, Bernard A. Harris Jr. in this year of 2025. He was a mission specialist 1993 and then a payload commander of 1995. But that is pretty awesome. They all have like their little badges of different things that they've contributed to. What an amazing place. This whole place has been cool. I had a really great time here. Or at least I did. Randy loved it.
That's good.
She came around to it, even though things go up and then they go down. And come up and down and up and down in most of the movies that we watched.
He's the most recent one.
Yeah, I filmed that.
93 and then he did it again.
Yep. So thank you for joining us here at the Kennedy Space Center. Right here in sunny Florida, right off of Merritt Island. Anyways, make sure you subscribe, comment down below if you enjoyed this, and also make sure you turn on that subscribing bell to know when we to know when we create new videos. Thanks guys, love you, have a great day, bye.